Hello everyone, and I'm very happy to have with me Dr. Ramandeep Singh. I'm very proud of him, and he's secured a rank 19
Yes.
in NEET PG 2019. Heartiest congratulations, Ramandeep.
Thank you, ma'am.
How do you feel, Ramandeep?
I am very happy that with the grace of Almighty, I am here along with you sharing my experience with the dams during my regular batch in the internship only.
Yes, and that's the amazing thing. He's done a regular course with us during his internship, and he's cracked it in the first attempt.
Yes, ma'am.
And back to a rank 19. That's amazing. I'm sure there are a lot of people who want to know what you've done and how you've done it.
Yes, ma'am.
So Raman, the first thing I would want to ask you is, you've done a satellite course with us,
Yes,
and
ma'am.
through the satellite you've done the regular classes.
Yes, ma'am.
How was the experience with the satellite live classes?
Firstly, from this platform, I want to thank Almighty and
Definitely.
my family, my sister, and few of my friends and
Go ahead.
my great teachers. And now I want to share some of my experiences with the dams. I joined regular batch during my internship in the month of January itself,
Okay.
and to be very honest, because it was my first experience with any institution, because during my PMT I was not enrolled in any of the institution. I have only done the schooling,
Right.
and to be honest, I was not. I have a sense of insecurity that whether the matlab, course will be completed or not.
I can understand. Yes.
But with the as the time proceeds, I have more and more confidence that the teachers are working very hard for us, and at the end I realizes that they had taught each and everything which is sufficient to crack the NEET or even AIMS and PGI.
Wonderful. And Ramandeep, because what do you think is the importance of sitting in a live class and interacting with the teacher and asking your doubts and
Yes,
getting
ma'am.
it sorted and clearing the concepts? Do you think that goes a long
Yes,
way?
ma'am. I personally believe that sitting in the class is must, because, for example, if we are taking any matlab, test series or something videos in sitting in the room, that may work for someone, but majority of students will not be able to cooperate with that. Matlab, it
That's
will
right.
not provide justice to them, because it is a human tendency that we are procrastinating the things and keep delaying the things, and in the room we will see the bed and we will go to sleep and something that we will not be that much matlab,
I know it needs a lot of motivation
Yes, ma'am.
to be just by yourself with the screen in front of you and just seeing
and
it.
in the class we will see our friends and they will be studying, and it is a matlab, good environment to study in the class itself.
Right. And because, this time, especially if I talk about part C, which also had clinical questions and
Yes,
there were
ma'am.
long questions. And do you think that concept building was very important?
Yes, ma'am. Concept building is very important for NEET as well as AIMS and PGI. Because firstly, student thought that NEET is just on the basis of the facts and numericals, but
Yes.
this is not the scenario
Anymore.
in today's era.
Absolutely.
We have to build the concepts from the first year itself, because we have to read the standard books, because I read Robbins and other good books,
Right.
and we have to build the concepts with the help of notes, and dams actually provide me with the mother it type of brushing was done in my internship when I joined the Mother
Right.
Dams Institute.
Right. Okay. And, I would want to know how did you plan your study? So did you go according to the classes we had? What did
Yes.
you do post class?
Yes, ma'am.
What was your strategy exactly?
After the each class, I have planned to complete the notes till the next class.
Okay.
And after the completion of that subject, I used to give the class test only.
Okay. So yes, because you did not delay giving the class
Yes,
test.
ma'am.
Right.
And we will talk about the grand test, because
Yes.
they are very important after some time.
Okay.
Then, ma'am, after giving the class test, during my matlab, up to September, I was completed with my first revision of each and every subject and with the class tests.
Okay.
And before DVT, I was able to complete about 13 to 14 subjects,
Great.
because 1 to 2 subjects were still pending from the regular
Okay.
batch. And then before the AIMS, I was complete my third revision, and then after AIMS, I did my final revision.
Okay.
then most of the subject wise test I had given in the last 2 months only.
So very nice. So if I can make out from your strategy, initially you stuck with only the classes and notes and give the post-class
Yes,
test.
ma'am.
And in the second revision, you took up the subject-wise test.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
that gave you a new set of
Yes,
MCQs
because
also.
every revision should end up with the test, because actually these, I think that mistakes are the one which help us to learn the concepts.
That's very
Because
true.
matlab every student has a notes, and but we have to know how to utilize that notes.
I can't agree more. Absolutely
Yes,
right.
ma'am.
And do you think that, when you took up your second revision and you said you did the subject-wise test, they
Yes,
also have the videos with
Yes,
them.
ma'am.
So did they help you in knowing what the approach to the question should be?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, due to my internship, I was not able to see all the videos,
I
but
can understand that.
but I used to see some of the subject which in I was lagging.
Okay, so you did a triage.
Yes, ma'am. And
Okay.
it help us to matlab, how to approach the question, how to rule out the options, because which is also very important, because MCQ learning is just an art. Because
Yes.
we have to, sometimes we are not able to pick up the right answer, but sometimes we have to rule out the option and reach to the final answer.
That's right. And once you say that MCQ is an art, I would also want to know, a lot of students think that they could, start with the MCQs and then learn the theory from it. What is your take on it?
Ma'am, I personally believes that matlab, during the matlab, up to your final year, you should concentrate on the textbooks and standard textbook you should read, and only after that in the internship you have to start with the MCQs. And from the MCQ, matlab, you can start with the class test, and you have to give the grand test every month,
Okay.
irrespective of the status of your matlab, preparation.
Right, because sometimes people are scared that
Yes,
abhi
ma'am.
classes to do ही subjects के हुए
Yes,
हैं,
ma'am.
and if I give the grand test, my score might be poor.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
what is your suggestion to your juniors who must be listening to you right now?
Matlab, grant test should be given regularly each month, because we can't be say that we can complete this and this much, because even up to the final test we will not be able to matlab, say that with confidence that I have completed
No,
each and everything.
I agree. And how did you, Ramandeep, if you can tell us that, do you think assessment of your subject test that you had given and the grant test that you've given is important, and how did you do your assessment?
Ma'am, grant test giving is very important, because it helps us to analyze our strengths and weaknesses.
Okay.
We can actually matlab, see our progression as monthly we are giving the grant test. And I will also focus on this, that during your initial grant test you should not much consult about your ranks, because matlab, ranks are not that matlab, important in the initial phase of your preparation.
Right.
You
I
have-
think what is more important is how many correct questions are you
Yes, ma'am.
doing.
You should be concentrating more on your mistakes, because you have to learn more and more from mistake. But my strategy was that I was not matlab, never I thought that mistakes are matlab, I am doing more and more mistakes. We have to control our emotions, because sometimes students, what they are seeing the mistakes, more and more mistakes, they upset, and then
Absolutely.
matlab, they used to waste even 2 to 3 days on that matlab,
I get it.
which we can't afford during our preparation.
Right.
Even
So-
2 to 3 days are very important.
So you mean, rather than taking your scores in a negative way,
Yes,
take them
ma'am.
positively and see how you can improve them.
Always surround yourself with the positive energy, that will help to the progress.
Right. And Ramandeep, after your first reading, when you wanted to do your second reading, how did you decide what are you going to read, or did you read the entire notes all over again?
Ma'am, during my first revision I used to matlab, underline the main matlab, the concept which we have to revise again, some facts and number based questions.
Right.
And the one I was not familiar earlier.
Okay.
And during second revision I used to concentrate on that part.
Perfect. And Raman, also, since you talked about questions, do you think that it is more important to do previous year question than to simply just sit with a huge chunk of MCQs and just keep doing them?
Ma'am, I personally believe that because sir and you ma'am videos must focus on the 3 years papers only,
Absolutely.
rather than going on 10 years or else.
Right. And did you use the eMedicos
Yes,
app?
ma'am.
Because we've given all
I was
these
very
previous year
liberally
questions.
using the eMedicos app. It is very, matlab, I was not using the damn matlab, Facebook Club or not,
Okay.
only using the eMedicos.
Okay.
it is very important. I was seeing the radio path series
Okay.
and mop-up sessions like
Okay.
biostats
That's
and
right.
emergency videos which was put before the aims
Yes, yes.
and
And also the previous year questions
previous year questions.
with the solutions
हाँ
and
जी मैम,
sometimes even with
with the
videos.
videos मतलब aims May 17 and 18
Yes.
and even November 18 was put before the NEET exam and I
Yes.
was very happy man.
Okay.
मतलब teachers are really working very hard and they had put just in the matter of 20 days
Yes.
all the videos were put.
Right. And Raman, now if we talk about once you're done with, okay, can you also tell us how did you mark your time limits? Like up till what time should you do your first reading? Up to what
Yes,
time
ma'am.
should you? Because sometimes students can't strategize that.
Yes ma'am. Now firstly I want to share some of the my matlab which I learned from my experience with
Definitely. Please
grand
go
test
ahead.
ma'am. I want to say that don't panic. You are giving the real exam. Don't panic if the 2 or 3 questions difficult question you faces in the exam that totally change your mentality and you land up in the nothing
Absolutely.
and all your hard work goes into vain.
That's right.
And also don't waste much of that when you are solving the test during the first go. Don't waste much of the time on the difficult questions.
Okay.
Try to give the first phase of your solving the MCQs in the better manner because I have completed my paper around 50 minutes before the
Wow. So your strategy was that quickly go and do whatever you know and
whatever
not
I
worry
know,
about
हाँ
what
जी.
you don't know.
And because even the questions which are conceptual based because if we try to handle them in the first go in the hurry we might go them wrong
Right.
and first I have I was knowing that I have 50 minutes and I was left with around 30 to 35 questions
Right.
and that question was not that I was not knowing them
Okay.
because they were based on the fact concepts
Absolutely.
and now I was very much confident that I have 50 minutes and just 35 questions I have left with.
So you
So
could
I
do
was
them.
quite relaxed at that time and with the when you are relaxed you will definitely more tendency to mark them right.
Absolutely. And Raman, from your interview that I'm taking right now,
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
getting a feeling that there were good number of concept-based questions
Yes,
as well
ma'am.
in the paper.
Yes ma'am.
Right. Okay. And then Raman, I would want to know from you that how was the experience with the DVT, and do you think that it was useful when you gave
Yes,
your
ma'am.
NEET exam? Because
Yes, ma'am.
it again, AIMS has a lot of visuals,
Yes, ma'am.
around about
But
60.
this time NEET also has good
Had-
number of
yes. So do you think DVT was a good thing to
yes
be
ma'am.
done?
DVT it is like an annual festival for the medical students
Yes.
and I was enjoying it very much. All the it gave us sense of fullness and we have revised all the subjects 19 subjects in just a matter of 3 days.
And I think once you do that,
It boost us with the confidence.
yes, and then you
increase
also
our-
have a list key. If you want to subject revision,
Yes ma'am.
you pick up the slides and revise those
Yes,
subtopics
yes,
from
ma'am.
the
It
notes.
actually, ma'am, also provide us a target that,
Right.
for example, I have decided to complete my second revision just before the DVT. It provide us with a target,
Right.
and it is also important to revise them. Easy to revise them.
Right. And since you're saying that revision बार-बार stress कर रहे हो, and I know that it's important, I just want to I want you to tell your juniors that when you talk about revision, what did you primarily rely on? Was it primarily notes? Was it primarily questions, or was it both? What was it?
During the initial 6 to 7 months, I was doing more of the revision of my notes. Then
Okay.
in the you can say that 75% of my time in the notes and 25% in the MCQs. But with the time the proportion was 50-50 and at the last it was
Okay.
25-75. 25% time to the notes and 75% to the MCQs.
Okay. And at that time, you were doing only the question that you had done wrong, or you were trying to do everything again?
No, ma'am. Actually, ma'am, I was bookmarking the questions very
Okay.
liberally, but
Okay.
I was not at the end. I was not getting any time to revise them. Only I,
get
was able to revise 20% of the my bookmarks.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And now tell me, Ramandeep, how important was it for you to go and give the CBT? Because sometimes you think,
Yes,
oh,
ma'am.
going out might take some time and, I'll waste my time.
Yes, ma'am.
But do you think it is a good investment of your time?
Yes, ma'am. Because ma'am, CBT are very important. It tell us about the status of our preparation with respect to the other students. and in CBT I score 108 rank, and which
Okay.
was actually give my confidence to give the AIMS exam. Before the CBT one I was saying that during my internship I will not be able to
I
crack the
get it.
AIMS.
I understand.
I have never thought of that.
Yeah.
After CBT one I thought of that.
But I'm very much in the race and
हाँ
I'm
जी
very
मैम,
much going to do it.
and I after the CBT one I really work very hard for the aims, but due to some silly mistakes I was not able to good it was just 570 rank in my in
It's
aims.
not bad. It's a good rank
Yes,
as
ma'am.
well. Yes, it's not as close to 19,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
yes, it gives you a good push.
Yes, ma'am. Because actually I has never thought of that. After only CBT I realized that yeah, I can do, because
Wonderful.
during my first 4 to 5 months I was not devoting that much time to my studies. Only due to duty I was just able to manage only 5 to 6 hours during my
Right.
first 4
And
months.
now, since you've said that
Yes,
you were doing internship and you were doing a regular course,
Yes, ma'am.
but you still took out time for your classes,
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And also, I would want you to know that, do you think that it was good in a way that you were not trying to collect more and more material?
Yes, ma'am. It is very important that actually Dr. Sumer Sethi sir has told in his video that it is not the paucity of the resources, rather it is a plethora of the resources which
That's
is creating the problem for the today's era.
That's right.
We should be consolidating our notes with the MCQs and giving the grant test, subject by test. It easily covered all of the matter which are asked in the MCQs.
Right.
Yes.
And now coming to just close to your exam, Ramandeep,
Yes, ma'am.
what was your strategy?
After my strategy was to revise the notes as fast as possible, and then
Okay.
go for the subject wise test and the
Okay.
remaining grant test which I left with.
All right.
Yes.
And now let's go on to the exam strategy, Ramandeep.
Yes,
How many questions did you attempt, Bache?
Ma'am, actually I used to attempt 290 questions.
Okay.
But during my this NEET exam I was realizing that it is more of easier paper.
On the easier side,
Yes, ma'am.
okay.
So I was much aggressive and I attempted 298 questions.
Wow. So you could do the assessment right in the exam
Yes,
itself, that it is an easy paper.
Yes, ma'am.
And I should go all
Yes,
out.
ma'am.
Right?
If I found it difficult, I would have stuck to the 285 to 290 questions.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And I think it has worked for you, because
Yes,
getting the
ma'am.
rank 19 means you've really done less negatives.
Yes, ma'am.
And when you went aggressive, you were
Yes,
able to
ma'am.
mark more positives.
Marking the questions is very important, because if you have attempted 280, you have to be very perfect, and
That's so true.
that
That's
is
so true.
very difficult sometimes.
Yes, because I think even the toppers are going to do some mistakes.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, that is inevitable. Do you want to comment something about Part A, Part B, and Part C? I mean, in terms of importance or the difficulty level. We're not going to disclose the questions, but just
Yes, ma'am.
sort of.
I think part A was quite easy, and
Okay.
C was more of the clinical and conceptual based.
Right, and I think the images were also concentrated in Part C
Part
of
C
the
only,
paper.
हाँ जी, ma'am.
Right, and Ramandeep, now I would want to ask you, suppose a junior is listening to you.
Yes, ma'am.
And after listening to the entire thing, now we want to ask you, what are the key ingredients that are required to crack NEET?
Yes, ma'am.
And not just crack, to get a good rank like you have got.
Okay. As I have always previously said that during our preparation we should be stay relaxed and devoting more and more time to the preparing consolidating our notes and MCQs.
Right.
What my strategy was that I only used to study 2 hours at a stretch,
Okay.
and after that I used to take 15 to 20 minutes break, because it is difficult to sit for long hours.
I agree.
Actually some can sit everyone is unique, and each and everyone has a different strategy to do that.
That's right.
But I personally think that our efficiency decreases as the time passes. After day 2 घंटे बाद it is decreases our efficiency.
Right,
We
right.
can't extract that much
I think
which
at
we
the max you can stretch it to 3 hours,
हाँ
but
जी.
usually after 3 hours everybody sort of.
Yes, ma'am.
And that is why it is quite difficult to watch long videos and just sit in front of the screen
Yes,
and
ma'am.
just keep watching them. And
Yes, ma'am.
you may be still in front of the screen, but what you're imbibing is very important.
Yes, ma'am. And in break our mind needs some diversion after reading the notes. For example, in break I did not do to waste my time. I used to see e-medicos videos and
Okay.
some
So it was still academic, but something different.
Something
that
different.
made you switch over.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And now,
And more important is time management.
yeah,
We should be having long-term goals and short-term goals, which is very important, as Sir has discussed in one of his videos.
right,
I used to write them my short-term and long-term goals on the basis of calendars. From this to this date, I have to do this subject and this subject. After my completing the course, after the month of September,
okay,
how to plan my revision second, third, or fourth. I used to write each and every. I have to complete this subject in this much days, and after that I have to do MCQs.
okay,
Because time management help us to achieve our targets, though we can do only 80% of our what we have decided to do, because it is very difficult to do all the 100% which we have targeted.
that's right.
Only then we have a target, we can put more 1 or 2 days and we have to complete 100% of that.
Right. So target-based approach is very, very
Yes, ma'am.
important.
It helps to manage our time rather than moving haphazardly, and it will be creating problem.
No doubt.
I have used to tick mark that I have done this and this, and it will build up that naturally confidence in student that I have done
You've
this.
covered this part,
Yes,
and
ma'am. Yes,
you've
ma'am.
reached closer to your goal.
Yes, ma'am.
Great. And now, Ramandeep, as a closing message, there would be a lot of Damsonians also who are listening to you, and probably they would have already started with their regular course, just like you did, or
Yes,
are
ma'am.
going to start. What would your advice be to those students who are doing the regular course with us?
I believe that most of our learning takes place in the class only. We should be sitting mindfully, interacting with the teachers, and try to extract more and more from the teacher, because what we listen in the class just imprint in our mind, and it can easily come in the paper in our mind that just I have listened this some time back.
Right.
And rather we should be surround ourselves with the good friends and discussing with them, rather than we should come out of the cage of the jealous, which is very prevalent in today's eras.
I can
Yes, ma'am.
understand that. Right.
Since I have studied in the holy place of Baba Farid University, I want to quote
Zarur, why
yes,
not?
ma'am.
Please
Farida
go
bure da bhala kar gussa manna handai, that even help those who are feeling jealous of yourself. It is a weapon to kill the ego in our, and it help us to proceed in our life.
That's a wonderful, wonderful
Yes, ma'am.
piece of advice, and
Yes,
even
ma'am.
I think I'm also learning from it, and that is something that we should all imbibe. That
Yes, ma'am.
no matter what, we should keep doing what
Yes, ma'am.
we believe, and your conscience tells you that it's
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
right, and the results would be fruitful. Wonderful. And anything motivational that you want to say, Raman?
I want to say that we should be concentrating on our notes, and keep consolidating our notes. We should be learning from our mistakes rather than getting embarrassed by them. And keep revision is very important to crack the each and every exam, because most of the fact based question and numericals can be handled only with the help of revision.
Right.
And I used to have a separate copy for the facts and number based question, because in today in this paper of most 5 to 6 questions are based on number only.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Definitely. Great. So
And I also want to say that ma'am, ops gynae notes are awesome, ma'am. It need not to worry about the ops and gynae part.
thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
There is no better
Yes,
gift
ma'am.
for a teacher than
Yes,
a
ma'am.
student's
Ops gynae note, ma'am.
appreciation.
No need to look here and there in ops gynae.
That will
Notes are sufficient.
that just motivates me to keep doing my best.
Yes,
as well.
ma'am. Teachers are ma'am, working very hard for us. Actually, I realizes and DVT. I am telling from the core of my heart that teachers are really working very hard. I realize that there so much of coordination between the teachers, and all the things are covered very nicely in the DVT.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Raman. Anything that you want to say to your family? Because I'm just going to say thank you to you for coming here.
Thank you,
So
ma'am.
if you want to say something to your family listening out to you, please go
I
ahead.
am very thankful to my parents, teachers, and my few friends, which helped me to achieve this target, keep discussing with me, and I especially want to thank to Dr. Rashmi and Dr. Anmol Batra, which helped me to proceed forward during the period of internship, and
That's
all other my friends.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Dr. Ramandeep. It was such a pleasure to have you here, and you've spoken your heart out.
Yes.
And I'm sure when you speak your heart out, you'll hit the hearts of other people as well. God bless you, and may you have a very bright future.
Thank you, ma'am.
And you be a great doctor.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.